The GeoMod system of the original Red Faction was really pushing the hardware of the time. We wanted to go further. We wanted to do a game where you could bring down buildings piece by piece, but the hardware just wasn't there. So when we started hearing about the capabilities of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, then we decided to reopen up the franchise with a whole new destruction system.
As you're playing through other games that tout destruction, you'll find that what you're seeing in all cases is a special effect. When you get into Red Faction Guerrilla, what you'll find is a true physics-based and stress-based destruction system.
In RFG, you physically destroy things the way you'd expect it to work in real life. Buildings have materials and weight. They creak and groan when they're under stress. They come down based on where the damage occurred.
It is just based on a series of physical rules. Because we built the system in such a generic manner, you can do any number of different types of damage. They're going to get applied the same way.
Everything that you do to cause destruction in the world is done because of where you place that charge, where that explosive round hit the structure. If you can pick out the structural elements on a building, place your charges appropriately, you're going to take that thing down much more easily than just with randomly placed charges. We've found that it's almost been necessary to teach our environment artists and our structure artists to be structural engineers.
The programmers got so good at simulating stress on the buildings, it turned into less, how are we going to make this thing fall apart, into more, how are we going to make this thing stay together. Say, for example, I have a two-story building that's just full of glass on the first story and then a cement wall above that, and then on top of that a roof and maybe a smokestack. If I don't create the appropriate infrastructure of I-beams and metal braces and firm foundation, I put this in game, it's going to fall apart on itself. Our stress system kicks in, the weight of the materials are calculated, the thickness of the materials all comes to play, and it just can't support itself. We become less and less just a 3D structure artist and more like architects.
The most powerful weapon in our game isn't necessarily a gun, it isn't a bomb, it isn't even your sledgehammer. It's your environment around you and your ability to destroy the world around you. You can bring a tower down on top of an enemy soldier, you can set up a trap on a bridge for an enemy convoy and then destroy it underneath them. It's the ability to turn the world into a parking lot on top of someone.
If there's a whole compound of EDF soldiers, instead of rushing in and trying to take them out one by one, you can bring the whole building down on top of their heads and smash them all in one shot.
If you want to jump a truck off a cliff into the second story of an office building because that's easier than fighting your way through the front door, go for it.
You can actually use this wall or this building, blow it up in such a way that it cascades down onto a tank and destroying that tank. Our destruction really has impact on you and the environment, and it's meaningful.
The missions in Red Faction Guerrilla are set up so that we can allow the player to have all sorts of destructive experiences, blow up vehicles inside of buildings, use the construction walker to take down entire barracks of EDF, things like that. We're trying to get the player introduced to this whole new idea of destruction and being able to bring down buildings, create your own cover with buildings that are there, and use it against the bad guys and defensively for yourself.
You have to use the destructive environment to your advantage to fight the EDF. You can't just run out there and start shooting. You'll probably lose pretty quickly. As a guerrilla, you're setting up ambushes. You're placing remote charges on these walls, and as the patrol comes by, you're detonating it, letting the debris fly out, knock these guys down, and then you can run in there and take them out.
In the last act of Red Faction, you were trying to get the Earth Defense Force to Mars to help fight the Ultor Corporation. Red Faction Guerrilla takes place 50 years later, long after Ultor's been defeated and the original mining complex has been forgotten.
So for the next 50 years, Mars is under Earth control, and the Earth Defense Force is the occupying military.
Over time, Earth started losing all its resources, and they started using the Earth Defense Force to institute martial law, take control of all the mining resources, the people's property. And now they're this oppressive force that trying to work the people as much as they can, exploit the people as much as they can, and send all these resources back to Earth. And you finally get fed up, and you start to revolt.
We made the switch from first to third person for A variety of reasons. We wanted to show off the character this time. He's much more important part of the story. We wanted the player to associate with the guy. We also wanted and needed to show more of the environment around you.
We realized that you had to see the destruction around you. It started having meaning and impact, and it was no longer just eye candy.
With all of this destruction happening, it's no good if you're only capturing really close, narrow glimpses.
The game basically lent itself to pulling it to third person and just made total sense.
It's a deviation from the play style that you've seen in Red Faction 1. We're now a completely open world. You can go anywhere in this massive territory that we've developed. You can steal vehicles, you can eventually steal weapons from the EDF, you can get other miners to fight for your cause and become guerrillas in the faction.
We've got assaults on EDF bases that other guerrillas are doing that you can get involved with. We have EDF convoys going through towns that you can choose either to destroy the convoy and get the materials from that, or wait, let it go by, go get better weapons, come back, do it later. We really wanted to cater to our early fan base of Red Faction 1 and 2 by going back and giving them the same kind of destructive experience that they had in those games, only better.
The destruction is no longer limited to just small-scale destruction in mines. Now the entire world's destructible. You can bring down an entire 3-story building piece by piece, and it will come down realistically based on what you do to it.
I think players will be very excited, enthusiastic, and they're just going to love what they're playing.
You guys have been doing some pretty good work on Red Faction Guerrilla so far. I was home alone last night trying to legally download some MP3s when I accidentally uploaded some of your screenshots to the internet. It's good though, the NeoGAF forums sort of ran with them. You know this is the artwork that you guys were doing for the game, which was pretty good. But now check this out, see what they did. The ostrich. The internet has spoken, they want our game to have more ostrich, and we're gonna give it to them. Okay, questions?
Are you serious?
Yeah, Blaine, you have a question?
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about what you're working on?
I'm actually working on concepts for the ostrich hammer.
How's that going so far?
Too many feathers. Not enough feathers. This one's facing north, not southwest. This one's upside down. And this is a f***ing emu. Block. Look at me. Look at me. Are you taking this seriously?
Is there a chance of it possibly getting cut?
Well, I can't really say, but I know that some people are pretty excited about it. What you doing?
I am working on some new sales projections.
I thought you did that last week.
Well, that was before we added the ostrich. Okay, thanks for your time, everybody. As you can see, we have got the ostrich hammer implemented as a multiplayer unlock in the game. So, pretty exciting. Next steps, marketing needs us to come up with a catchphrase. So, I thought what we'd do is watch this little video. Anytime you see someone get killed by an ostrich, just shout out whatever comes to mind. Mix it up. Let's get creative, all right? I'll get things started off. Here we go. And here it comes. Ostrich, baby. Here we go. Gonna kill somebody. Got an ostrich. Haunt!
Haunt? Haunt. That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Hey, please, can I get just a little bit of positivity from you today?
Emulation?
Emu is the wrong species, but I like what you're doing.
Birdtacular. How about that?
I think Birdtacular would be great if we were making games for 3-year-olds.
Technical foul! You know, like in basketball, only the foul is spelled F-O-W-L.
Ostrich-sized.
Hey, it wasn't even your turn. It wasn't even a hit.
Yeah, no, it's like a play on the word ostracized.
I don't know what that is. That's a word?
Yeah, it means to throw something or somebody out. Like, watch me. Bang! Ostrich-sized.
No, bird-brained.
I don't think that's actually a word, and I don't understand why you're talking over Steve, who is pecking out some amazing ideas over here.
Look, I've had it up to here with this ostrich hammer bullshit, okay? Birds are not weapons, and this is ridiculous.
Okay, Blaze, you know what? You're ostrich-sized. I want you to just take your stuff and get out of here.
You don't even know what that word means.
I mean, the Red Faction name has always been synonymous with destruction, but we felt that for the relaunch of the brand, we really needed to bring a little extra something special to the table. So look what we've accomplished. Our game features true physics-based destruction, plus the ability to kill someone with a very large bird. Think about that.